Welcome back to our review of Atlanta, and we only have a few more episodes left. Are you guys enjoying this season? Let us know. This is the Curry Gumbo Podcast with Nicole and Ashley. When it started, I thought this was going to be another no cast episode. And I was just like, oh my goodness, are they doing like every other episode, white people, then the group? Then I can't. Just stop it. And then when I saw Paperboy, I was like, okay, good, finally. I don't need an all-white episode again. I don't understand why Darius is Nigerian now. And I say now because we done been through 3.5 seasons.
And Atlanta is Nigeria heavy.
It is.
So I'm trying to understand, he said he was Nigerian. We learned that.
Well, we missed it. Apparently, we missed it season 1.
Yeah. We never see his family. We never see him getting no jollof rice in Atlanta.
Then even just being Nigerian was never a part of the story. You can say you cannot show your family, but if you're a child of immigrants, or I'm sure you can be
that comes up
between your friends, oh, that must be your Nigerian side, or just little things like that could conversation between your friends and your friend group. But that never came up.
Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable doing it with them. I don't know. I mean, he is alone. He ain't getting none of that food with Ern or with Al.
They went and got Jamaican food. They ain't Jamaican.
When did they get Jamaican food?
One of them seasons, 1 or 2. Maybe
I guess and also I think that Jamaican food is a lot different from Nigerian food.
People know it more.
We are used to Jamaican food. I feel like I still have not had Nigerian food at all.
I don't even know Nigerian restaurants.
Couldn't tell you. I have yet to have Ethiopian food, and I don't know why, because that is super vegan friendly.
Yeah, I heard Ethiopian food is really good too.
This fashion house has upset the Blacks, and they should have upset everyone. I didn't understand what was offensive about the shirt until I listened to the episode.
It didn't jar you at first?
I never trust animals on shirts unless it's Mickey Mouse.
No, when they turned it around, it was Central Park 5. I was like, ooh.
I didn't pay attention to it. I did not even read that part. I just saw the raccoon and I was like, are y'all gonna have
honey, I saw Central Park 5. I was like, let me start this over. I went back. I was like, I need to start this over and listen to what he said. And then he was like, I'm inspired by Central Park. I love it. Mm-hmm. And he said, we're gonna put 5 for 5th year anniversary. And then the picture they had the white woman wearing the Central Park 5 jersey, laying down with these Black men surrounding her. And so I was like, oh, they doing something with this episode.
I was, when I saw the Black people around her, I was like, And then she was laying down, it looked like she was motionless, even though there's not going to be a movement because it's a picture. She looked like she was not she looked out of it. And so I was just like, that's not the best shot to take. But I did not pay attention to the Central Park 5.
I just didn't. Early.
Yeah, which is great. And it's you are so inspired by Central Park, and yet you know nothing about it. You know nothing about its history. You bring up Seneca Village to this man, and he's probably gonna be like, what?
Where is that?
What's that? Is that an island? Is that an island near Guam? What? He's not gonna know, And so again, it's this ability to just not know shit
and get away with it and make products and worth millions of dollars of something that's not even a part of your culture. You're in Europe, you're not even in America, so you can't even lie and say, growing up, my parents took me to Central Park every year and I have this so many memories about it. You can't even lie and say that. Pick a park in Europe
Yeah.
that you have kind of connection to.
But I'm sure that those parks are problematic too. And so
I mean, yeah, but
like,
at least you can get away with it and be like, I was born here.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So they have to apologize and they have to make these grand gestures. So they invite Al and
Well, they need Black people to, they want to appease the Black people and say, look, we have Black people who are supporting us, so you guys can support us because these famous Black people support us.
Al said it ain't gonna be cheap to get him to do it because they can't just outright give him money.
Because
And
I get
so,
that part.
but they will donate to any charity of his choosing. And so he ain't got no charity that he's trying to donate to. He like, look, give me 3, or does he? Yeah, I don't think he names a charity.
He didn't name a charity.
But he's like, I need 3 suits.
Custom made,
tailoring for the next 3 years. I need
clothes.
I need clothes for the next 3 of them, all 3 of them years. So the guy like eventually gets, because the list of demands is like unending, and so the guy gets up and leaves.
On and on.
He's like, all right, y'all, let's cut this meeting. Ern is saying like,
well, he's asked Ern, which is what we alluded to the last episode of, like, Paperboy does look to his friends, to Ern and Darius, for advice. I think that's why he has them around. And so he's asking Ern, like, well, like, what do you think?
He does clown Ern though, when Ern says like, they would need to put me on the board for like 5 years so I can learn the infrastructure and so I could reinvest those funds back into my own neighborhood. Al clowns him.
Oh yeah.
But he ends up saying the exact same thing in the board meeting.
He's listening.
Even if listening.
Clowning him, he's listening.
How do you feel about Khalil?
I don't know, because I understand his point. He's like, if they're gonna use me, I'm using them. I need to get everything I want. Like, you need me? Okay. Well, this is my price. I understand his point. I understand Ern's point. I guess the question is, which one has bigger impact? Is your charity benefiting? Is it worth it?
Khalil doesn't feel 100% self-serving, but he does feel like 60% self-serving to me.
Oh, he's going to get what he wants.
Yeah. And that's what makes, even so, you kind of side-eye the charity, but I'm sure it does have some type of positive impact.
Yeah.
They're at the press conference. The owners of the fashion house are calling these Black people they just met experts, these Black people and DeMarco, because we know DeMarco is not Black, child. Some woman asked him, is racism over? And I just, it exhausts me. Like,
Wait, hold up. When did you realize it was a Central Park 5 jersey?
When I listened to the podcast episode. And I was like, they got Central. Yeah, the Shadow and Act podcast with and he was talking about, he was like, they put a coon on a jersey that says Central Park 5, and I was like, wait, I know I read Central Park. I don't even think I paid attention to the 5. I did not, and I just thought Central Park, like, yeah, what? It just felt silly to me, and then I was like, that raccoon, that's not a good look, and yet they still like they got in trouble for using the image of a coon, and then they went out and got Black people who will be called coons. So they're in this meeting and they're like, all right, what changes can we make? They need to buy my book, give this money to my charity. I want to fly business class and such. Al is looking very disappointed because he's like, I thought we was really here to make some changes. How about we do a Reinvest in Your Hood campaign? He need to go on. He make sure he cite Ern because he is completely plagiarizing because it's Ern's idea. But anyway.
How do you feel about the Reinvest in Your Hood idea?
In theory, it sounds good, but I think racism is always going to be what it is. I think that there are some organizations who will go and get this funding to improve the lives of non-white folk, And somehow that money always gets funneled into white spaces. Even when Khalil is talking about his organization, I'm like, But how do you feel about reinvesting your hood?
I don't think people need celebrities to tell them to do that. I hate this idea like, oh, we have to tell Black people what to do because they don't know. Like, Black people know what to do. Start with the ones that are already there. Like, you don't have to say, hey, Black people, reinvest in your hood. It's like treating Black people like they don't have any sense, or they never thought of that idea before. Or, oh wow, start a business. I never had that. Like, there's plenty of Black businesses.
Yeah.
Anywhere. You just have to look for them and then support.
And then you have to support them.
Yeah, because, just support them. Yeah. But this, I don't see the need.
And I think that a lot of I remember when I was in New Orleans and I was working at this juice bar. It was owned by this young Black man. And when I tell you, Black people every day would come there and show out, and they would tip like crazy. So it's like the community is already supporting each other. Like, we need the people with the big bucks to come in and support them. Like, we need the infrastructure to be where it's to be what it needs to be in order for businesses like that to survive and thrive. Because the people in the community, again, even if they don't have the resources to start their own business, they will go and support another Black business. They will go and do that. So I think you're absolutely right. Like, you can give people and then it's like, sometimes I feel like there will be people who will go and get these fancy degrees and get these like top-notch jobs.
I just don't like the idea that telling Black people something new. Like, Black people have always been business owners. They've always supported other Black. When has that not happened? If you're so inclined to reinvest in your hood, start with the business that's already there.
I feel that.
Like, you're not telling people something they never thought about before.
Well, that's the idea that they're going with. You know, DeMarco wants the seed money to go into his organization first. It's Al's decision, so he has to pick between DeMarco and Khalil. He know good and damn well he don't trust no motherfucking DeMarco. Notice how DeMarco's voice changes.
Yeah.
Al chooses Khalil. They do and reinvest in your hood
commercial
campaign. And it is an atrocity.
It's filled with all white people.
Well, there's one Black man. There are all types of white people from different ethnicities. When there's a Black person, there's one kind holding a stack of money, and he's like, you can't even make out what he's saying. So you had all these white folk, different religions, different ethnicities, different nationalities. You had one type of Black person. Al is pissed, but I could have told you they was gonna do that to you, brother. So he storms into the office, and that's when Khalil breaks it down for him. Like, did you really think that shit was gonna work?
Yeah, the other influencers in Khalil, they keep saying that they've been doing these board things for some time, so they kind of like know how to work the system. Sometimes you have to be sneaky to get what you want. You can't just go out and say, hey, these are my demands, ABC. You have to, they playing the game, they playing you for their game, you have to play them for your game.
Storyline B, Darius and them damn, and this jollof rice.
And Darius being Nigerian for the first time.
So one of the assistants says, you know, it's my job to take you around.
Well, he had his food order. So he was, so in the beginning, the assistant was getting everyone's food order. And she said, you know, I noticed you ordered jollof rice. I'm not familiar. Do you have a particular place in mind that you want to go get this jollof rice from? And
she doesn't even know what it is.
No.
Don't even know what it is. Says, is that Ghanaian? He's like, no.
Okay, well.
No.
Oh, wait. First of all, there's
a battle.
There is Ghanaian jollof. There's Senegalese jollof.
Yeah.
Nigerian jollof.
You got to make a decision.
So when he was like, no, I'm like, well, technically, I mean, if you're gonna educate her, you can say, well, yes, there's different.
He don't recognize that jollof. He don't recognize that. He only recognized the Nigerian.
But there's different types.
There is, but I guess, look, he said, hey, it's only one kind. Like it's only one kind of ginger ale that I respect, and that's Canada Dry.
Yeah, she wasn't wrong for asking if it's Ghanaian because Ghanaians eat jollof rice.
No, she wasn't wrong at all, but I do understand why he was like, no. So she take him to this restaurant. She ain't even eating all her food. She don't want nothing to do with the goat. She just eating the rice.
And then watching a Nollywood film.
Again, Darius. Again. Teddy Perkins, Darius, you don't sense the danger? You don't sense the danger? She is being completely, I don't know, like she's in this space and she doesn't feel like a visitor. She doesn't feel like a visitor who respects the place. She just feels, she has the spirit of a colonizer. Like, oh, I have to meet her because I want to know, like, I feel like she just wants to siphon information.
She's taking her notes because
yes,
she was like, okay, what does Niger mean? Okay, got that. What is this called? Jollof? How you spell? Okay, got that. Like she's taking all her notes down.
What that is. And Darius, I don't know if he's under the impression that this person wants to know that because she wants to get to know the culture. She wants to maybe get to know him, but it's like he never questions like, what are you going to do with this information? Why do you need to know this? What is happening here? So that just, I
knew something was up when she was worried about her phone. She was trying to like, something like her phone wasn't working properly in the restaurant. And I was like, girl, put your phone, what you need your phone for? You eating. Long story short, she colonizes Nigerian food. Crazy. She opens up her own food truck called Niger Bowl, and is literally selling jollof rice.
And the restaurant is closed. But how much time has passed? This is what I don't understand. How much time has passed? Because was this the next day? Was this a week later? How much time has passed between Al being excited about the Reinvest in Your Hood campaign and then the commercial coming out? Because there's another storyline of Earn and
he finds Van.
And I guess I'm wrong. I guess I just thought something
so back up. So in the so Earn is in the hotel where Paperboy is having his influencer meeting, right? Is that correct? They're in like
maybe, I believe, yeah.
I think they're in, those big hotels have those ballrooms, conference rooms. So I just took it as Earn is just waiting for Paperboy to finish his influencer meeting. And look who comes waltzing in the lobby, but Van. What's up?
Hey.
And she's just like, oh, hey, Earn, how are you? How you been?
How you doing?
So, like, where have you been? You sent me a thumbs up not even a black thumbs up emoji. She sent the yellow one.
You know I have feelings about that, but anyway.
I noticed that too, and I was like, oh, not even the light skin thumbs up emoji, but okay. They have this conversation, which I thought was interesting. Because Earn is like, I've been calling, it's been weeks. Well, it's been weeks since this London house party. And he's like, we're parents. You can't just disappear. Like I even asked your mom and she didn't know where you were. And she's like, well, does your mom know where you are? And I was like, ooh, good point.
Real good point.
And then she says, I know you guys didn't plan for me to come. And so I'm just doing my own thing. I understand her doing her own thing. And I don't think she has to check in with Earn everywhere she goes. But I do think she should have just told him, I'm doing my own thing. Like, what do you think?
If I'm seeing you contact me over and over and over and over,
she should have responded.
Then I'm going to respond because I am the mother of your child. I am also your friend. and I don't want you to worry about me. It seems like Van is in, I don't know, I feel like I'm leaning more towards you, where it's like Van is in this space where she does feel some freedom, but that freedom comes with a lack of concern for those around her. And it seems a little selfish. It doesn't seem healthy, and it doesn't seem sustainable if you want to be a part of a community. Like, you can't, if you want to be solo dolo for the rest of your life, cool, but you can't. You got a kid.
I don't think she needs to check in with Earn everywhere she goes. But I think she sort of just sent the text and said, "Hey, Earn, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'll check in with you when we get back to Atlanta or whatever." Like, because if they're not together, you don't need to know my every move. Our child is with my mom. You have my mom's phone number. So if you're concerned about our kid, you can call my mom. Like, you don't need me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna do me. But I do believe that she should have responded with more than just that yellow thumbs up.
Yeah, for sure. I see that, like, yeah, and I absolutely agree. And I guess what I'm saying is, my previous assumption about this freedom that she is feeling and this fearlessness that she is feeling might not be the safest for her to take
I never
on.
thought. I still think something's going on with her, but I guess we'll find out. A woman accuses Van of stealing.
Child. Do you think she stole that wig?
Yes.
I do too.
This relationship between them is interesting. He's very protective over her.
Well, and one, I think he knows what could happen if this escalates. How long were they in that hotel room together? That's why I
think
don't
just
understand.
the night.
How could it have been just the night when it's
because when Earn was he told this story to the the concierge, saying, "You know what? I lost my bags. I'm not even in the system. I blah blah blah, whatever." He was just trying to get this white woman off a van or off her case. And the concierge was like, "Don't worry about it. I have you can stay free for the night." And then so I'm assuming they just stayed free that night.
But that story is woven in between the stories of Darius and Al. And those stories are not just happening in one day. So are they playing around with time, which I'm completely fine with. And I think it's cool if they doing that. Like, the story, one of the storylines is just one day, as opposed to they're not sharing timelines. And that's what's confusing to me.
So maybe, okay, so Earn was waiting for Paperboy and his influencer meeting. So maybe that night is when he stayed at that hotel with Van, and then she was gone the next morning.
It's like when they're together, that I feel like that happens after the Reinvest in Your Hood commercial comes out. Then the final scene that we get is of him waking up alone. So it's like, had they been held up in there for a couple of days?
Do you think they did more than kiss that night?
Oh yeah, they definitely did more than that. I don't know why, because I thought she was in love with Darius.
You just want her to be with Darius.
Notice how she says, like, Darius says this is all a simulation. Yes. Like, yes. She is completely sold out to Darius.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought
Van is having her best life. Her really and Darius are having their best life in Europe. They on this European vacation while Earn and Paperboy are working. Who was calling Earn in the hotel room?
Probably room service, being like, "Is everything okay, sir? Because we know that you were racially profiled in our
Or was it the hotel saying he needed to pay up for these extra
you need to go ahead and get
because you only got one free? Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more Atlanta episode reviews. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Curry Gumbo. Bye.